DRS here, functional health coach, functional nutritionist, owner of Complete Vitality, functional health coaching organization. We are a functional health organization that helps men and women just like you get to the root cause, heal their gut, balance their hormones, reverse their chronic health conditions, and lose the weight and keep it off long term. In this video today, I'm going to talk about how you can reverse your thyroid condition, whether it be hypothyroidism and even Hashimoto's. Okay, about 12% of the United States population will experience some type of thyroid condition at some point in their lifetimes. And I've helped many women and many even men that struggle with thyroid issues and don't even know it. And majority of the time, whether you're dealing with even cardiovascular issues, even gut issues, thyroid issues could be to blame. Okay, so like I've mentioned too, 60% of the population struggle with thyroid issues. Even if you have labs that are normal, considered to your endocrinologist, you could still be dealing with thyroid issues because they're not looking at the entire picture. There are many other things that can cause thyroid issues. Some of the common symptoms is weight gain, okay, weight loss resistance, fatigue, insomnia, depression, anxiety, okay, brittle nails, hair loss, chronic fatigue, chronic brain fog, okay, and even cardiovascular complications. So what I want to talk about is what are the things that actually affect the thyroid? And what are the things that you can do to actually help heal the thyroid by taking a root cause approach? Many individuals turn to levothyroxine or Synthroid or some other thyroid medication, but unfortunately, that does not get to the root cause of the issue, and sometimes it can even exacerbate symptoms even more. And you may know this because you may still take thyroid medication, but you still deal with symptoms. And actually, here's the thing: 90% of hypothyroid issues are Hashimoto's thyroiditis. This means that there's an autoimmune attack on the thyroid gland. Okay, antibodies are elevated TPO, TGA, or whatever, but you may never know this because your endocrinologist or whoever primary care physician do not actually test a full thyroid panel. Nonetheless, though, let's actually talk about how you can reverse your thyroid issues. Okay, I've helped many men and women do this, like I said, and we do this on a daily basis. Okay, so first, let's talk about the things that actually affect your thyroid gland or actually affects your thyroid hormone. Okay, food sensitivities. If you are having a bunch of food sensitivities that can actually come from a leaky gut, if you are having any of these, they can cause inflammation, okay, within the GI tract and then also inflame your thyroid. It can also cause immunological responses, meaning it can trigger your immune system, okay, to then attack your thyroid gland by mistake. Another thing is adrenal dysfunction. When you're dealing with, adrenal dysfunction is, depending on where your cortisol levels are at. If you're dealing with chronic high levels of cortisol or you're dealing with low levels of cortisol, nonetheless, it can throw off your thyroid gland function. Okay, oxidative stress, obviously, this comes with mitochondrial dysfunction, something known as the cell danger response. This can cause your cells to not hear the message of the hormone T3 for it to get into it, okay, for its physiological function, which actually is something called cellular hypothyroidism, which majority of individuals actually suffer with as well. See, there's so many things that could affect your thyroid or things that are going on with your thyroid that conventional medicine or even conventional weight loss fitness doesn't even know. And this is something we all reverse inside Complete Vitality. We do. Okay, toxins, stress, lack of important nutrient deficiencies, okay, changes in gut bacteria. All these things influence your thyroid, either slowing it down or triggering the immune system to attack the thyroid gland. All right, so let's talk about some of the key nutrients that you need for a proper, optimal functioning thyroid gland. Okay, number one is iron. If you aren't having enough iron, either you have some type of low iron deficiency or whatever that can cause you to have thyroid issues. Iodine. If you don't have enough iodine, you can't make enough thyroid hormone because T4 and T3, those are iodine atoms made in there. Okay, tyrosine. Tyrosine is controlling your thyroid as well. Selenium. Selenium helps the conversion of the inactive form T4 into the active form T3. So if you don't have enough selenium, you can't obviously convert the right proper amount of thyroid hormone for the actual active form T3. Okay, vitamin A is another one. All the B vitamins, B3, B6, these are all crucial for thyroid gland. Next is let's talk about how selenium and iodine. Selenium and iodine play crucial parts within your thyroid gland. So if you either have too much iodine or too much selenium, that could be an issue. And then obviously if you don't have enough, that could be an issue. And many individuals lack these key nutrients. Okay, these two key minerals, I should say. When you don't have enough iodine, it can cause you to not have enough T4 and T3, what then gives you an hypothyroid label, a hypothyroid diagnosis. Okay. But hypothyroidism is not a condition, it is a temporary state that you can be in. So what I mean by that is that if you are hardcore dieting, if you are nutrient deficient, or if you're dealing with a toxic overload, if you're dealing with like SIBO or H. pylori, you could be in a hypothyroid state. But once you correct these underlying issues, your thyroid gland can get back to normal, okay, and you can reverse that condition, which I've done many times. Okay, but nonetheless, though, if you are also deficient in selenium, you don't have enough, nutrient mineral of selenium for the enzyme known as deodenase, which is the enzyme to help you convert the inactive form T4 into the active form T3. So without enough selenium, you can't do that properly. So you can only imagine what happens. You can't make enough active form of thyroid hormone T3. So what then happens then is that your TSH elevates, okay, and then you obviously get a hypothyroid label. All right, so we talked about, these vitamins are crucial, selenium, iodine. So if you're deficient in any of these, you're eating the SAD diet, the standard American diet, or you're taking all these medications that deplete you from these nutrients, especially B vitamins like birth control for females. That will inevitably cause you to have a slowdown in thyroid hormone. Okay. Next thing is obviously some of the things that also affect your thyroid is stress, infection, trauma, and even certain medications. So when you're dealing with obviously stress, infection, trauma, whatever, these things can help, or these things suppress your thyroid gland or even suppress your immune system that then triggers the autoimmune attack for your thyroid. Okay, trauma is a big one. Many individuals that experience trauma or have trauma, that stuff manifests into these chronic health conditions, especially thyroid issues. This is something I work big on inside my program because if we can address what traumatic experiences happen or what trauma there is, they can actually help with the self-healing process. Okay, so these things are serious. Okay, so chronic stress and chronic inflammation are both two big drivers to thyroid issues. If you are always stressed all the time and you're dealing with, high amounts of, stress hormones releasing all the time, like adrenaline, norepinephrine, cortisol. Okay, this all can impede the conversion of your thyroid hormone and even the creation of thyroid hormone from your hypothalamus and pituitary gland to your thyroid gland. So when you are dealing with all this stress, okay, it'll over signal and then it won't actually convert. So what I mean by that is that you'll deal with so much stress that TSH or TRH from the hypothalamus will signal to TSH. So TSH will continue to keep going and it won't actually get into your body's cells. Okay. Chronic inflammation is huge when we are looking at lab values that are considered normal, but you don't feel well and you still deal with all thyroid symptoms because this is something called cellular inflammation. Many women struggle with cellular inflammation, meaning their cells are inflamed. So even their thyroid labs look good, okay, even their T4 and T3, but the cell can't hear the message from T3, your active thyroid hormone, for it to be used for its physiological function. So you may have normal lab values, even getting a full thyroid panel, okay, but you could still be dealing with this cellular inflammation, this cellular hypothyroidism, because your body's cells aren't using that active form of thyroid. Okay, so this can become mitochondrial dysfunction as another thing. Low calorie dieting is a huge one to why individuals struggle with thyroid decline, hair loss. Because if low calorie dieting is a stress on the body, and when it's become stress for too long, then obviously that will impede on thyroid hormone. It also will create nutrient deficiencies that then obviously impair your thyroid function. All right. Some of the things that also affect your thyroid gland is your gut and your liver health. Your gut and your liver play huge roles with inside your thyroid. Okay, if you are dealing with any type of gut issue, leaky gut, inflammation in the gut, overgrowth or bacteria in the gut, this all destroys thyroid hormone. It destroys how thyroid hormone can get converted. It destroys how thyroid hormone can get made and metabolized and synthesized. So whether it comes from the inflammation from leaky gut or it comes from just poor conversion from bacterial overgrowth, nonetheless, if you're dealing with any type of gut issue or even poor liver function, this will impede on thyroid gland. Okay, because your liver plays a crucial role in obviously detoxifying the body from toxins. And if the liver is slowed down and can detoxify toxins correctly, then obviously it can trigger the immune system even. And this is how many individuals struggle with Hashimoto's. Okay, so let's actually just talk about what are the things that you can do to actually help your thyroid. What are the steps for you to take to correct your thyroid issues? Okay, number one is to remove some things. We want to remove raw coniferous veggies. If we're eating raw coniferous veggies, this can cause roughage within the GI tract, that they can cause inflammation, that they can cause a thyroid, inflammatory response. Another one is beer. I mean, alcohol destroys sugar, gluten, redefined grains, processed food, and conventional dairy. These are all things that impede on thyroid health. Okay, what are foods that heal the thyroid? Okay, bone broth, fish, chicken, beef, lamb, leafy greens. Okay, asparagus, seaweed, pumpkin, squash, sweet potatoes, berries, fruit, beans, chia seeds, walnuts, Brazil nuts. Okay, coconut oil, rice, oats, cinnamon, ginger. Okay, all these things help with, these are all foods that help heal the thyroid. Okay, some ancient prescriptions, things that actually help, adaptogenic herbs that really do help the thyroid. The number one is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is an adaptogenic herb that's been used in Ayurvedic medicine for years, traditional Chinese medicine, and they use it when individuals are dealing with high amounts of stress. Okay, and obviously ashwagandha, there are studies that show ashwagandha reduces thyroid antibodies and improves thyroid function if you're struggling with hypothyroidism. Okay, astragalus is a big one as well. Probiotics really do help the thyroid. High probiotics, CFUs, lactobacillus, bifidobacterium, kelp is another big one. Okay, another big thing is a thyroid protocol is to eat an anti-inflammatory diet and then eliminate gluten. Anti-inflammatory diet are things with high amounts of omega foods. Okay, these are like things like fish, salmon, chia seeds, walnuts, flax seeds, coconut oil, olive oil. Okay, these things that are good in fat. The fat helps with lowering the inflammation. The healthy fat. Now, if we see seed oil fat, vegetable oil fat, we're not talking about that, but seed oil fat. Okay, blood sugar balance, supporting blood sugar balance. Okay, making sure we get adequate protein in each meal. Okay, either removing, getting the proper exercise to improve, glucose transportation, um, helping with getting enough sleep, helping with even toxicity, okay, which we'll get into here. These are all things that can help thyroid function by improving your blood sugar balance. Another thing is supporting micronutrient balance. You can use like a, obviously eating, whole food diet filled with all those foods that I mentioned, but also supporting micronutrient balance. You can either take like a thyroid supplement. I love using ones with my clients called Thyro Boost. It has the iodine, it has the selenium, the vitamin A, vitamin D even, and then a lot of glandular support, which is a topic for another time. Another one is iodine. I would consider testing your iodine before taking iodine. But if you are deficient in iodine, inevitably, if you take iodine, this will improve your thyroid function. Okay, another thing is to address your stress and adrenals. Now, if you're dealing with too high cortisol, too low cortisol, nonetheless, you have to get that under control. So, obviously, doing mindful activities, prayer, gratitude, meditation, learning to say no more often, not spreading yourself too thin. Those are all things. But then also using specific support. Okay, and this depends. If you're dealing with high cortisol in the evening, you'd want to use things to get that back into normal function. If you have low cortisol or high cortisol in the morning, or too high or too low cortisol in the morning, like it's flip flop, then you want things to support that as well. So that's important. Next is obviously to heal the gut. This all works in tandem with changing your diet, eliminating some of the food allergens and even sensitivities. But if you can help with supporting the gut by getting inflammation down, supporting intestinal lining health for leaky gut, and so forth, all of this will improve your thyroid function. Okay, and then last is to support phases 1 and phase 2 of liver detoxification. I talk about this a lot, but if you support the way that your body is able to neutralize and excrete and eliminate harmful substance out of your body through the liver, this will help you improve your thyroid function. It will help the conversion of thyroid hormone, and it'll help how the thyroid conversion is being made. Okay, so these are all things that can dramatically help improve your thyroid. Okay, so hopefully you found this video helpful. And if you're looking to heal your thyroid, get to the root cause and finally lose the stubborn body weight, stubborn weight, and finally look good and feel good. The message means root cause today. Together, we're going to dive in, take a comprehensive look on how you are, and finally get to the root cause of your thyroid issues. Thank you for tuning in today.